Here are the selections for Sunday, December the 19th. As recapped on Saturday, as you can tell by the weather as I'm recording this Saturday afternoon, the skies opened up, rains came down, and everything came off the turf, and so the William L. McKnight, my big selection of Precious Passion, he scratched out of the race. And so, in fact, I had another turf race where my pick scratched. I had two selections on the main track, they both scratched. And then in my only other two races, I had a second and a fourth. So I was 0 for 2 on the day. So let's take a look at Sunday. I'll pass the first race, pass the second race. The third race is scheduled for the turf, and if it stays on the turf, I'll go with Drifting Away, who's from the legendary Phipps stable out in New York. He debuted this past summer at Saratoga on the turf, and he was dynamite. He came back in an off-the-turf event, which was a multi-key race. He's been off since September. He races today on the turf against foes that he lays over the field. He should be solid if it stays on the grass, although with the way the weather is, I doubt it will stay on the grass, in which case he'll probably scratch. But if it goes on the grass, my selection is Drifting Away. I'll pass the fourth. In the fifth, we go 7 furlongs maiden claimers. My selection is La Plebe. What's interesting about this field is there are 12 horses entered in the race. They've been beaten in their last race alone, a combined total of 180 lengths. Whoo! That's an average of over 15 lengths per horse. Yet La Plebe does get my mild attention in that he was closing in on my selection several weeks ago, the Right Button. The Right Button was odds on, was much the best that day, but La Plebe did make a run at him, and so on that basis alone, finishing second, I'll give him the nod, La Plebe in the fifth. In the sixth race, I'll double the investment, and I would go with Smoking in the Field. Even though this race is scheduled to go 5 furlongs on the turf, Smoking the Field will be my selection whether it's on the turf or on the main track, because it is a non-winner of 2 Lifetime, and Smoking the Field is the only runner in here who has never seen 2 Lifetime company. In fact, he's never even seen a claiming tag. So if his connections allow him to run today, I don't care whether it's wet, dry, grass, dirt, whatever, he's my pick. Smoking the Field in the sixth. In the seventh, I'll double the investment on Don Missile. 6.5 furlong starting allowance. In his debut down here at South Florida, he ran an 80-plus buyer. He came back and ran another 80-plus buyer, and he's been off since October. If he runs either of those two efforts, he is a solid winner here today. What I think sets it up for him even better than that is those 2 races were against higher quality than what he meets today. So I think that Don Missile is the pick. In the 7th, I'll double the investment. My last selection for investment purposes is in the 8th, the starter allowance, where we go 6 furlongs on the main. Sarah Success is a solid 3-time effort horse here in South Florida, and that was against optional allowance types. Today she drops down and run against 10,000 starter allowance company. She lays over the field. I'll take Sarah Success, triple the investment on her. I'll pass the 9th, I'll pass the 10th. We'll see how we do tomorrow. And we'll take a look at a quick recap for the week as well, and look ahead to a short holiday weekend as we're now on winter break. Woohoo!